What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Hope everyone had a good week and a good weekend. But let's get into some film news. First, I believe next week Stranger Things Part 2 comes out. But film news, the Spider-Man trailer has probably been leaked. So yeah, a couple Marvel trailers have been leaked. I haven't seen any of them. I do like Spider-Man, but I have not seen it. You know, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but yeah. Each teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday will end with a 5-month countdown clock. That's a bit ridiculous, you know, to me, but, you know, as some of you all know, I'm not excited for this movie at all. I think it's going to be horrific, and I think it's going to be so bad that it kills the MCU. I mean, the MCU is already dying anyway, but, you know, I think these last two Avengers movies are going to be the nail in the coffin, in my opinion. But, see, what's up, Jahira? How are you? Hayden Christensen says he wants to make a Darth Vader movie. I don't know what there is more to do with the character. Like, I really don't know what more you can really do with the character. Which I like Darth Vader. He's one of my favorite villains of all time. I like Anakin Skywalker as well. One of my favorite, you know, tragic characters of all time. But I don't know what more you can do with him, to be honest. And then the first trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day will release around the Super Bowl. Rams Bills probably. But of course the trailer's already gotten leaked. Big surprise. Boots has been canceled by Netflix after just one season. I have no idea what that's about, so don't really care. Marvel has removed the leaked Avengers Doomsday trailer. Like I said, I didn't watch it because I simply just don't care. Tom Holland's Spider-Man will wear the black symbiote suit in Avengers Secret Wars. That will be cool. We'll just have to see how it actually happens, though. A live-action Gaston movie is officially in the works at Disney. Oh, boy. The second trailer for Avengers Doomsday will focus on Thor. Zootopia 2 cut entire 4-minute Silence of the Lambs homage. Okay. Steve Rogers will probably be the lead character for Avengers Doomsday. I don't know why they're doing that. Like, Endgame already ended their stories. Now they're just doing this out of desperation. New details on 4 teaser trailers for Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, they're having 4 different trailers come out. I think that's a bit ridiculous. But the first one's going to be about Steve Rogers. Second one's about Thor. Third one's about Doctor Doom. And then the fourth one will just be the full teaser. New official look at Stranger Things Volume 2. They actually released a Volume 2 trailer yesterday. which they didn't reveal too much, but got 11 here, still at the military base in the Upside Down. You got Dustin here. Then you have Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and Dustin on the Upside Down. I think they're going to Hawkins' lab. And you have Max and Holly trying to escape Vecna's mind. And then this scene right here is probably gonna take place like right after episode 4. But you got Will, Mike, and Robin. Then you have Henry Vecna in his human form in the Wheeler house. Then you have Vecna here. Then you have Steve and Dustin saying, "You die, I die," which that pretty much confirms that Steve's not dying. You got Hopper in this shot here. So they didn't reveal too much. It was a pretty awesome teaser. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. Pluribus has become Apple TV's most watched show ever. I don't have Apple TV, so I don't watch it. I do know that it's by the same creator that made Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and the actress played Kim in Better Call Saul. That's all I really know about it, though. Welcome to Derry will probably run for 3 seasons. I don't care. I don't watch, horror stuff. I don't really care about that stuff. The Batman Part 2 will partly take inspiration from the Long Halloween comic. I never read that, so I don't know what that is. Marvel will issue a copyright strike to anyone who leaks the Doomsday trailers. Yeah, so to any content creators who want to make a breakdown about the leaked trailers, don't, because I guess you'll get copyright striked. But yeah, Grey Hulk will appear in Spider-Man 4 or Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay. Two-Face will be the main villain of the Batman Part 2. That's pretty interesting. Cristiano Ronaldo will reportedly appear in Fast and Furious 11. Okay. The tagline for Avengers Doomsday will probably be all roads lead to doom. Oh boy. Avengers Doomsday reveal what happened to Steve Rogers after Endgame. The gender swapped Holes reboot has been canceled by Disney. Oh my gosh. Release dates for the 4 trailers for Avengers Doomsday. First one's coming out December 18th, so that's 2 days from now. Second one will drop on Christmas. Third one on New Year's Day, and then trailer 4 comes out January 8th. Yeah, can't wait. Okay, Spider-Man Brand New Day will focus on the heroes facing their personal trauma. Brad Pitt is reportedly in talks to join the cast of the Batman Part 2 as a villain. Okay, and then I believe they just released a Street Fighter trailer as well, which comes out next year. But it has Zara from Cobra Kai, Reina Vallandigham. I believe she's playing Julie, I think. I'm not really sure, though. But yeah, pretty solid cast. So should be interesting. Millie Alcock confirms David Corenswet will return as Superman and Supergirl. Yeah. Yeah, I also think the Supergirl movie is going to be ass as well. Jason Momoa is Lobo and Supergirl. Okay, no one cares. The Avengers Doomsday trailer will only play in theaters and won't be released online yet. So I guess you got to go see a movie in cinemas to see the trailer. The cast of Narnia reunite 20 years since the first film's release. This is one of my favorite movies. Disney is investing $1 billion for AI to create content for Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah, yeah, that's really gonna work out. Yeah. Noah Schnapp says Stranger Things season 3 is too cringy to watch. I don't know why the cast is hating on season 3, bro. Stranger Things has been voted as the greatest TV show of all time by viewers. Superman has been voted as the most popular movie of 2025. Overrated as fuck. Holy crap. The Tron franchise is officially dead at Disney. Yep. Daisy Ridley says her Solo Ray movie will be worth the wait. Yeah, right. Avengers Doomsday will focus on the rivalry between Doctor Doom and Steve Rogers. Okay, and then that's pretty much it for film news. But it's time to get into the NFL stuff. You can dread it, run from it, all remains the same. Some brutal injuries this week. Let me get into it. Okay. Okay, so first, go top 5 passing or receiving yards, excuse me. Amon-Ra, 1,140 yards. Chase is in fourth, 1,147 yards. George Pickens, 1,212 yards. Puka is in second, 1,367 yards. And then JSN's still first with 1,541 yards. We'll see who wins Offensive Player of the Year between JSN and Puka. Top 5 in passing yards, Drake May, all the way down at 5, 3,567 yards. Mahomes in fourth, his season's done, 3,587 yards. Goff moves up to third, 3,672 yards. Stafford, 3,722 yards. And then in first place, Mr. Dak Prescott, 3,931 yards. Let's see. We'll talk about playoff picture in a minute. I just need to get to the injury stuff. So this is probably the smartest thing to do. Jaden Daniels will not be playing for the rest of the season. They should have done this earlier. The Commanders are pretty much, their season's done. Their season's toast. Um, just no point in risking injury because then you'll lose them for next season. Commanders need to retool the roster. They need to improve their defense. They need to improve the offensive line. They need to improve running back and tight end. They need to get more receivers. But yeah, just a rough year for Commanders. Let me see. Okay, and then this is just unfortunate news. Micah Parsons suffered a torn ACL. His season is done. Just bad luck for the Packers. And they lose Christian Watson, their best receiver, to a chest injury. Packers just can't catch a break, man. They lose Tucker Kraft, who was having a great season. Now they lost Micah. They're not just their best defensive player, but their best player on the roster. And their best receiver goes down. So this is the worst time to be getting hit with the injury bug. Feel bad for Packers fans, man. You guys just can't catch a break. And then this is devastating. Now, some of you know me, I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like Mahomes. But I never wanted this. I would never wish this upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL. He's out for the rest of the season, and he's probably going to miss a good chunk of next season as well. Just absolutely devastating for the Chiefs. I feel bad for him. He was playing his heart out, trying to do everything he can to, get this team to the playoffs and give them a chance to get another ring. So just really, really unfortunate. I wish him the best. I wish him a speed of, wish him a good recovery. And he'll probably come back, better than ever. But yeah, just really sad to see. I don't want to see any player go through this, but just absolutely devastating. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But yeah, just really unfortunate. But that's all the injury stuff. But yeah, a lot of devastating injuries this year so far. But I guess now we'll get into the games. So just give me a minute. Yeah, starting off with Thursday night football. Falcons win it over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of people want to talk about Brady owning the Bills and Jets. And then Mahomes owning the Bills in the playoffs or owning the Raiders. What I think needs to be talked about is Kirk Cousins owning the Bucs because he's 3-0. In the last 3 games he's played against the Bucs as a starter. Kirk Cousins, 30 of 44, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Probably his best game all year. Bijan, 19 carries, 93 yards, touchdown. Kyle Pitts played phenomenal. 11 catches for 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Absolutely killed it in fantasy. And then defense, 2 sacks from James Pierce. Jalen Walker, the sacks. They had 5 sacks total. And I guess they didn't have. Oh no, D. Alford had an interception. But yeah, just an embarrassing game from Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles needs to go. Baker Mayfield, 19 for 34, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Guys, they're up 28-14 at one point, and they lost 29-28. Bucky Irving, 16 carries for 60 yards. Sean Tucker with a touchdown. Mike Evans came back in this game. 6 catches for 132 yards. Egbuka, 4 catches for 64 yards. Godwin had a touchdown. 4 catches for 20 yards. Devin Culp with a touchdown. They fumbled multiple times. Hassan Reddick with a sack and a tackle for loss. He's actually been solid for them. But yeah, their defense has good players, but the defensive play calling hasn't been good. Didn't have any interceptions. But yeah, just bad game. Or no, just a complete choke job by Tampa Bay. Really all I have to say about this game. I usually do the Pats game last, but I got to get this out of the way because this game pissed me off. The Bills absolutely exposed the Patriots. Kid you not, guys. The Patriots were up 21-0 at one point, and they completely collapse in the second half and lose 35-31. What an absolute choke job. Drake May was not good in this game. Holy crap. Which I haven't even seen the stats yet because I was too pissed off. But it's worse than I thought, dude. As soon as this thing loads. Oh my God. Oh my God. 14 of 23, 155 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. It is worse than I thought. He didn't even have 200 yards in this game. All season, he's put up at least 200 yards. This is just absolutely disgusting. Travion Henderson, he played phenomenal. 14 carries, under 48 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He went crazy in this game. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter because they lost. Matt Collins, 4 catches, 41 yards. Kayshon Boutte, only 1 catch for 30 yards. Are we being for real? Diggs played horrible. 3 catches for 26 yards. They fumbled multiple times. Jack Gibbons with a sack. 2 tackles for loss. Harold Landry with a sack. But yeah, absolutely atrocious game. Just completely collapsed and blew it. Josh Allen did what he does best. Josh Allen is a true clutch quarterback. 19 for 28, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Absolutely whooped the Patriots defense. James Cook went insane. 22 carries for 107 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Khalil Shakir, 5 catches, 65 yards. Dawson Knox with 2 touchdowns. James Cook with a touchdown reception as well. Man, a huge win for Buffalo. Matt Milano, 2 sacks. Greg Rossero with a sack. Bills get it done. Looks like the Pats are going to blow this division. Bills remaining opponents, they play the Browns next week. Then they got the Eagles, and then they end it against the Jets. Pats play the Ravens. They're probably going to lose that game. Then they play the Jets, and then the Dolphins at home, which that Dolphins game could be a trap game. But it is in cold weather. But yeah, enough about this game. The Patriots are an embarrassment. But let's move on to Ravens-Bengals. Just an absolutely disgusting performance by the Bengals. They're officially out of the playoffs. You have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and you score 0 fucking points at home. 0 points at home. What are we doing? Like, just shut Burrow down for the season at this point. Like, he should not be playing. Like, look at this. Lamar, only 12 passing attempts. 12. 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Derrick Henry, 11 carries, 100 yards. No rushing touchdowns. Zay Flowers, 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Whoever this guy had a touchdown. Lamar fumbled but recovered. Travis Jones with a sack. Mike Green with a sack. So 3 sacks. Jesus, 2 interceptions. Marlon Humphrey with an interception. And this guy got a pick 6. Or was it something else? I don't know. But yeah, embarrassing loss. Burrow, 25 for 39, 225 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Are we being for real? Like, are we dead ass? Chase Brown, 13 carries for 53 yards. Chase, 10 catches, 132 yards, 0 touchdowns. Oh, maybe T. Higgins didn't even play. My bad. But still, Burrow and Chase, and you can't score a touchdown. Like, are we dead ass, Cincy? Defense is horrible. Demetrius Knight, 2 sacks. Good game from him. Jordan Battle with a pass deflection and tackle for loss. 2 sacks from Miles Murphy. So yeah, the defense had 4 sacks. And they still freaking lost. Jordan Battle with an interception. So yeah, the defense wasn't that bad. But the offense couldn't fucking score. Enough said about this game. Moving on. Bengals need to completely retool the defense and the offensive line. Okay, Jaguars absolutely smoked the Jets. Another great game from Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his career right now. I know it's against bad teams, but they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat. Trevor Lawrence, 20 of 32, 330 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Let me make sure he didn't fumble. No, he didn't. Okay. So no turnovers from Trevor Lawrence. He's playing really well right now. 5 carries for 51 yards and a rushing touchdown. Travis Etienne, 3 catches, 73 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Brian Thomas with a touchdown. The Jaguars are playing really good at the right time. So I think Jacksonville will win the division. I think it'll come down to them and Houston. It depends on who has the tiebreaker, which maybe Houston drops a game, maybe Jacksonville drops a game. I don't know, but but yeah, it's really all I have to say for this one. Defense, a sack from Eric Murray. This guy had a sack. BJ Green with a sack. So 3 sacks total, 3 interceptions. But yeah, their defense played well. Jacksonville takes care of business. Brady Cook, who's a CFL quarterback, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Isaiah Davis with a rushing touchdown. A.D. Mitchell, 6 catches, 58 yards and a touchdown. Let's see. Defense had no sacks. Okay. On to the next game. The Chargers sweep the Chiefs for the first time in a while. But yeah, Chiefs were up 13-3 at one point, and then LA comes all the way back and wins it. But yeah, just as I mentioned earlier, at the end of the game, Mahomes tears his ACL. So then Gardner Minshew comes in and he throws a horrendous interception. Mahomes 16 of 28, 189 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Gardner Minshew, as I just mentioned, threw an egregious interception. Mahomes had a rushing touchdown. Pacheco, 11 carries for 21 yards. It's just not that good anymore. Travis Kelce, 7 catches for 70 yards. Rice with 51 yards. Jalen Watson with a sack. 1.5 sacks for Charles Allman. I'm not even going to try and say that. Jaden Hicks with a sack, so 4 sacks total. Ashton Gillette had an interception, returned it for 14 yards. But yeah, the Chiefs are out of the playoffs for the first time since 2014. Justin Herbert, 19 for 29, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Hampton, 15 carries for 61 yards. He's played really well. Aronde Gadsden, rookie tight end, 61 yards. Whoever this is had a touchdown. Then 2 sacks from Odafe Owe, 2 sacks for Tuli to Pulatu. Khalil Mack with a sack. Then Derwin James with an interception, and I believe he had the game-winning interception. And then this guy with an interception. But yeah, looks like Chargers are going to get into the playoffs. Just heartbreaking way for the Chiefs season to end. Then we got the Houston Texans absolutely blowing out the Arizona Cardinals. It was just a blowout from start to finish. Houston put up 40 on their ass. Like, that is ridiculous. Feel bad for Cardinals fans. It's just been complete and utter heartbreak this season. Kyler Murray's most likely gone. They're probably going to have at least a year or 2 with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback until they can find a quarterback to draft. But 27 for 40, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Most of those touchdowns come in garbage time. Michael Carter, 14 carries, 56 yards. Trey McBride, he deserves a ton of credit. He's a great tight end. Like, despite their record, he shows up and plays hard every single game. Absolutely love that. 12 catches, under 34 yards, 2 touchdowns. Michael Wilson with a touchdown, playing really, really good. Turns out Kyler has been the issue. Then defense really didn't do anything. Walter Nolan with a sack. That's pretty much it. Josh Sweat didn't really do much. The Texans, CJ Stroud, 22 of 29, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Jordan, 15 carries, 101 yards. Nico Collins, 3 catches, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Schultz with a touchdown. Then defense, Danielle Hunter with a sack, Vikings legend. 2 sacks total. But yeah, big win for Houston. They're on a roll right now after starting off 0-3. They're now 9-5. And then let's get to the Bears versus the Browns. Shador played absolutely horrible. 31-3. My goodness. And keep in mind, the Bears defense is not that good, guys. Just an absolutely atrocious game from the Browns. And the Browns defense is supposed to be good, and they allowed 31 points. And yes, the Browns are bad on the road. I get that. Shador was horrible. 18 of 35, 177 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Had 2 carries for 24 yards. Quinshon Judkins carries 21 yards. Isaiah Bond, 2 catches, 89 yards. Schlesinger, 14 total tackles, 1.5 sacks for Myles Garrett. He's going to break the sack record. He's played phenomenal all year. I feel bad for him. Although he did put himself in the situation by, signing that big contract instead of going through with the trade request. Caleb Williams, 17 of 28, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Good game from him. Swift, 18 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Luther Burden, 6 catches, 84 yards. DJ Moore, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. Let's see. Austin Booker with 2 sacks. But 5 sacks total. CJ Gardner-Johnson with an interception. So 3 interceptions from the defense. Jalen Johnson with an interception as well. But yeah, good win for the Bears. They might win the division since, Green Bay is hammered with injuries and Detroit kind of falling apart. But move on to one of the most meaningless games of the week. The Commanders finally get a win, and it's against the New York Giants. Giants can't even beat the Commanders without Jaden Daniels and bad defense. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the Tank Bowl for who finishes last in the NFC East. Jackson Dart, 20 of 36, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Tyron Tracy, 15 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Theo Johnson, 3 catches, 72 yards. Wandell Robinson with a touchdown. Tyron Tracy with a touchdown. Dart fumbled. Abdul Carter with a sack, 3 tackles for loss. Probably his best game all year. They had 2 sacks. Mariota, 10 of 19, 211 yards, 1 touchdown. Ja'Cory, 18 carries, 96 yards and a touchdown. McLaurin, 3 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. I don't know why he's still playing. Mariota fumbled twice, lost one of them. A sack from Von Miller. Mike Sainra still with an interception. Returned it for 55 yards. But yeah, just meaningless game for both teams. Commanders need to improve the defense. Like I said earlier, Giants, not really sure Jackson Dart's the guy. He gets injured every game, runs around way too much, doesn't really protect himself, and he's a pretty inefficient passer. So, not trying to hate, but I'm just not really sure. I just don't think Dart's the guy. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this game. And then the Eagles absolutely beat the crap out of the Raiders. Just a disastrous game. Raiders are, not by far, but Raiders are probably the worst team in the NFL right now. Oh, Jesus, 64 passing yards. My goodness. That is one of the worst stat lines I've ever seen. $15 and 25, so 10 incompletions, 64 yards, 0 touchdowns, interception. My goodness, that is atrocious. 9 carries for 35 yards. Brock Bowers, 6 catches, 28 yards. And defense is horrible. Max Crosby with 1 sack. He needs to request a trade. Like, it gets to a point, dude. Like, screw loyalty at this point. Just leave. Jalen Hurts, 12 for 15, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Saquon, 22 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Goddard, 6 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown with a touchdown. 2 sacks from Brandon Graham. Nolan Smith with a sack. So, yeah, 4 sacks. Zach Bond with an interception. But yeah, Raiders are horrible. Get rid of Pete Carroll. Just fire that entire coaching staff. Let's move on from this disastrous game. Okay, Colts and the Seahawks. Seahawks almost lost to the Colts. Phillip Rivers, 18 for 27, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor, Jesus Christ, 25 carries, 87 yards, no touchdowns. Josh Downs with a touchdown. Okay, anyway. Abdullah, 5 catches, 32 yards. Defense didn't play that good. 1 sack from Lott, too. That's pretty much it. Sam Darnold, 22 of 36, 271 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Didn't play that well. Charbonnet, 8 carries, 31 yards. They didn't score 1 touchdown, guys. Not even kidding. And they still won this game, which is just mind-boggling to me. JSN, 7 catches, under 13 yards. Shaheed, 5 catches, 74 yards. Defense, Iman Wari with a sack, tackle for loss, 2 pass deflections. And then Kobe Bryant, 1 interception. Rashid Shaheed, a bunch of return yards. And then, yeah, their kicker scored all their points. But yeah, pretty much it. Seahawks win it. Big game against LA this week. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then disappointing game from the Packers. I was confident that the Packers were going to win this game. Sorry about the dogs. Yeah, I was confident the Packers were going to win this game. Jordan Love, 40 passing attempts, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Yeah, disappointing. Josh Jacobs, 12 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Matthew Golden, 3 catches for 55 yards. Josh Jacobs had a receiving touchdown. Defense did not do much. Bo Nix, 23 of 34, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They made him look like prime John Elway out there. Like, this is the best game I've ever seen him play. RJ Harvey, 19 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Sutton, 7 catches, under 13 yards, and a touchdown. Franklin with a touchdown. Humphrey with a touchdown. And Bandy with a touchdown. RJ Harvey fumbled once. A sack from Jonathan Cooper. A sack from Jonah Ellis. Tillman with a sack. So 3 sacks total. Pat Surtain with an interception. Riley Moss with an interception. But yeah, Broncos are legit. They've pretty much locked up the 1 seed. So, yeah, Denver's legit. So, big win for them. Rough loss for Green Bay, especially with all the injuries. But we'll move on to Titans, Niners, which Titans did make it interesting for a little bit, but Cam Ward, 18 of 29, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's good. Pollard, 14 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Gunnar Helm, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. So no turnovers for Ward. Jeff Simmons with a sack. He also had a touchdown, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Jeff Simmons got a touchdown, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's it for Tennessee. 23 of 30, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Probably best game all year. McCaffrey, 22 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Pearsall, 6 catches, 96 yards. Kittle with a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Jennings. No sacks from the defense, no interceptions. But yeah, Niners probably going to go to the playoffs. We'll see who they play in the wild card. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan, very good coach. So yeah. Then the Panthers hand the division right back to the Buccaneers. They get swept by the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, that's pretty much the Panthers in a nutshell. It's not what I asked for. Go back, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much what the Panthers have been the whole season. Shut out the Falcons 30-0, then get blown out by the Patriots. Upset the Rams at home, then lose to the fucking Saints. Yeah. Bryce Young, 15 of 24, 163 yards, a touchdown, 0 picks. Rico Dowdle, 16 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Coker, 4 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. McMillan, only 2 catches, 25 yards. Bryce Young was throwing some bad passes, so I don't blame McMillan. Bobby Brown with a sack, 2 sacks from DJ Wonham. Travis Gibson with a sack, and Nick Scorton with a sack. So 5 sacks, and they still lost. Tyler Shuck has been playing really well. 24 of 32, 272 yards, a touchdown, 0 picks. Also had 8 carries for 32 yards. Devin Neal with a rushing touchdown. Olave, 6 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown now that he has a competent quarterback. Chase Young with a sack, 2 tackles for loss. But yeah, meaningless win for the Saints. Brutal loss for the Panthers. They're playing the Bucs this week, so that's a big game. I think whoever wins that will win the South. But regardless, neither of them deserve to be in the playoffs. Then we got the Rams finally beating the Lions after the Matthew Stafford trade. Let's talk about it. Jared Goff, 25 of 41, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. And they still lose. 13 carries, 38 yards for Gibbs. David Montgomery with a touchdown. Amon-Ra, 13 carries, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jameson Williams with a touchdown, 7 catches, 134 yards. A sack from Hutchinson. But yeah, they need to improve the defense this offseason. They're not going anywhere with how bad this defense has been. Not the worst defense, but just not good enough. Stafford, 24 of 38, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Kyron Williams, 15 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Blake Corum with a touchdown. Puka, 9 catches, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns for Colby Parkinson. I believe he's a tight end. Devontae Adams suffered a hamstring injury, so hopefully he's okay. Kobe Turner with a sack. But yeah, Rams are the best team in the league right now, and I think they'll win the Super Bowl. Whoever makes it out of the AFC is getting their asses whooped by the Rams in the Super Bowl. And then Sunday Night Football, I took a huge risk picking the Vikings, and thank goodness it paid off. Dak Prescott, 23 of 38, 294 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Javonte Williams, 15 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. CD, 6 catches and 111 yards. Pickens, only 3 catches for 33 yards. See, no sacks. Quinnen Williams had an interception earlier. And Brandon Aubrey missed 2 field goals. 2 of 2 for extra points, though, so he scored 14 points. JJ McCarthy is actually getting better right now. 15 for 24, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones, 12 carries, 34 yards. McCarthy with a rushing touchdown. Jordan Addison, 2 catches, 66 yards. Hawkinson, 4 catches, 66 yards. Jalen Naylor, 2 touchdowns. Jefferson, 2 catches for 22 yards. I don't know what's going on with him. Van Ginkel with a sack. Renard with a sack. Hargrave with a sack. So 2 sacks for the Vikings. They played really well. A pass deflection from Blake Cashman. But yeah, Vikings went back-to-back games for the first time this season, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Cowboys pretty much out of the playoffs. Good win for the Vikings. And then we got, to end off week 15, Steelers absolutely whooped the Dolphins' ass. It was pretty competitive in the first half, and then the Steelers just went crazy in the second half. Tua turned the ball over, 22 of 28, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. A-Chain, 12 carries for 60 yards. He had 6 catches. Darren Waller, 7 catches, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. A sack from Jordan Brooks. He's really good. Zach Zealer with a sack. 3 sacks. And then it's pretty much it for Miami. Aaron Rodgers looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers. 23 of 27, only 4 incompletions. 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Kenneth Gainwell, 13 carries for 80 yards. Jonnu Smith with a rushing touchdown. Connor Hayward with a touchdown. DK, 3 catches, 55 yards, a touchdown. MVS with a touchdown. I didn't even know he was on the team. Holy crap. Jalen Ramsey with a sack. Hayward with a sack. 2 tackles for loss. Peyton Wilson with a sack. So 4 sacks for the defense. Asante Samuel with an interception. Steelers are now 8-6. Most likely going to win the division, but might come down to that final game against the Ravens, which they're at home, so we'll see. Get into week 15 picks. Okay, starting with, we actually have Saturday games this week too. But starting off with Thursday night, like we usually do, Seattle versus the Rams. The Seahawks are debuting their rivalry uniforms. Gonna pick the Rams. For whatever reason, Sam Darnold always shits his pants when he plays the Rams. I don't get it. But last time it was a close game. I think it'll be the same here. Say 24 to 21. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to have the Rams win. Then Saturday, we got the Bears versus the Packers. I'm going to pick the Bears to win, given all the injuries Green Bay is dealing with, and Bears are at home. But I still think it'll be a close game because Chicago's defense isn't good. But it's going to be hard for Green Bay to get pressure without Micah, and Golden and Jaden Reed are going to have to step up since Christian Watson is out. But yeah, I got Bears winning. Then Eagles, Commanders. Eagles should win this game. Say 25-19. But yeah, we'll go with that. And then Vikings versus the Giants. This is easy. Vikings. 21-10. Then we got a big game, Bucks, Panthers. I could see Panthers pulling off an upset, but I'm going to go with the Bucks. 27, 24. Then Cardinals, Falcons. Oh boy, this might be an ugly game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can see this game going either way. I think Brissett's a better quarterback right now than Kirk. Actually, that might be stupid. I don't know. I think the Falcons have a better defense, and Cardinals are kind of tanking right now. Probably gonna be a low scoring game, maybe. I don't know. That's 21. So I'm gonna pick the Falcons. I mean, neither team can win close games, so that's another thing you have to pay attention to. But okay, Cowboys, Chargers. I know the Chargers O-line can't block anybody. Like, it's embarrassing how bad their blocking is. But I'm going to go Chargers because I trust Herbert more than Dak. But let's say (27-22). Kind of a weird score, but whatever. All right, Saints, Jets. Give me the Saints. They got the better quarterback, regardless of who's playing. But yeah. All right, Steelers, Lions. Lions are whooping the Steelers. 28-13, or no, it was 17. Okay, and then Chiefs, Titans. I know Mahomes is out, but the Titans are terrible, and they're 0-8 at home. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in an ugly game. Probably like 17-13. Bills, Browns. Give me the Bills. Bills should easily win this game. All right, and then this is my upset for the week. I am going with Jacksonville over the Broncos. 24-20. And then Texans, Raiders. Give me the Texans. 28-3. Raiders are that bad. And then this was supposed to be Sunday night, but it got flexed. I'm going to pick the Bengals over the Dolphins. Could be a shootout. Say 27-20. Or 24. I'll go with that. Okay, and then Sunday Night Football, Patriots, Ravens. Give me the Ravens. The Ravens should whoop their ass. 27-13. And then Monday night, Colts, Niners, Phillip Rivers on primetime. I'm going with the Niners. Say 20-17. Those are the picks for this week. I look at the standings. Patriots follow third. Jacksonville goes up to second. Broncos don't move. Chargers fifth. Bills sixth. So they have the same record. Texans at 7. I don't think any team's on a bye. Yeah, no one's on a bye. It is the 16th. So talk about some NBA games. So Magic beat the Heat 117-108. Desmond Bain has been playing phenomenal, 37 points. Knicks beat the Raptors, unfortunately. Go to Wednesday. Soon as it fucking loads. Okay, and Thunder blow out the Suns. Spurs beat the Lakers. Thank goodness. Castle, 30 points. Luka, 35. But yeah, Spurs are playing really good. I like the Spurs. They're pretty good. Go to Thursday, the 11th. Okay, Rockets beat the Clippers by 2. Zubac, 33 points. Love to have him on the Celtics, but he's not available. 20 points for Thompson. Speaking of the Celtics, to get their asses whooped by the Bucks without Giannis, the offense just went ice cold in the second half. How do you go from scoring 35 in the first and 32 in the second to putting up 13 points in the third quarter? That is absolutely unacceptable. Jaylen Brown, 30 points. Bobby Portis, 27 and 10. Yeah, nothing else really interesting on, the 11th. Friday, the 12th. Saturday was the Cup games, I'm pretty sure. Bulls beat the Hornets by 3. Giddey, 26 points. 33 from Concanapple. He's been really good. Pistons blow out the Hawks. 17 from Stewart. Sixers beat Pacers by 10. 39 from Embiid. Cavs barely beat the Wizards. The Cavs have been really disappointing this year. 48 points from Mitchell. Jazz beat the Grizzlies. Cedric Howard, 17 points. 39 from Keontae George. Mavericks beat the Nets like they're supposed to. 80 with a double-double. Timberwolves beat the Warriors by 7. Rudy Gobert, 24 points, 14 rebounds. Steph with 39 points. He's been having some really good games. The Warriors are wasting Steph's last, good years. Like, the Warriors need to do something at the trade deadline because Steph is playing phenomenal. Okay, and then the Knicks beat the Magic, unfortunately. Brunson, 40 points. Probably most of those are from the free throw line, given how much he flops around. Suggs with 26 points. And the Thunder finally lose another game. Holy frick. Spurs take down the Thunder. Wemby comes back and pretty much makes Chet his bitch. Just absolutely bitches Chet. Vassell 23, 29 from Shea. Huge win from the Spurs. They're winning the cup. Let's go. But yeah, Spurs are playing really well. They're definitely making the playoffs for sure. Call me crazy, but Wemby might be better than Jokic. Just throwing it out there. Hornets beat the Cavs in overtime. The Cavs scored 0 fucking points in overtime. 29 from Knepel, 26 from Garland. Hawks barely beat the Sixers. Well, the Sixers are above 500. 35 from Paul George, 27 and 10 from Dyson Daniels. Bucks get blown out by the Nets. They barely scored in the second half. Fourth quarter, you put up 11 points. 11. By the fucking Nets? We're one of the worst teams in the league. Seriously? Wolves 17 and 9. Wolves are playing well. 20 points and 11 rebounds from Naz Reid. Pelicans beat the Bulls by 10. No one cares. Lakers barely beat the Suns. 20 points and 13 rebounds from Ayton. Revenge game from him. 27 from Booker. Blazers beat the Warriors. 35 from Sharp. 48 from Steph. Like I said, they're wasting the last good years of Steph. Then close it off with Monday, which was yesterday's games. Celtics lose to the Pistons. Finally, Celtics need to lose games. I do not want them in the playoffs. Miss the playoffs, miss the play-in. Take your chances in the draft lottery. Go from there. Cade Cunningham played phenomenal. 32 points, 10 assists. Jaylen Brown, 34 points. I believe Derek White had 30 as well. They still lost. Raptors beat the Heat by 10. Let's go. Ingram with 28. 20 and 10 from Bam. Raptors been pretty good. Jazz beat the Mavericks. 42 points from Cooper Flag. 33 points, 16 rebounds from Markkanen. Jazz have been pretty competitive. And then I hope we see this in the playoffs. Nuggets, Rockets. They've had some really good games. Nuggets beat the Rockets in overtime, 128-125. Şengün, who a lot of people call Mini Jokic, with a triple-double. Both Jokic and Şengün with a triple-double, 33, 10, and 10, 39, 15, and 10. Two of the best centers in the league. Then Grizzlies beat the Clippers, 31 points, 5 blocks from Jaren Jackson. And then 21 from Kawhi, but that's pretty much it for the NBA. Believe tonight Spurs play the Knicks. So, yeah. And then we'll do, and I haven't done a mock draft in a while, so which I am not using PFF this time. I am going to be using the mock draft simulator database where you can do trades, which we're just going to use the current draft order because the season's almost over anyway. There goes the dog again. God, will this thing hurry up? Holy crap. Not what I asked for. Probably gonna be laggy as fuck, but I'll try my best. Okay. So Giants currently have the first pick. It's not what I asked for. Go away. My battery's fucking low. God, this thing fucking hurry up. Holy fuck. Okay, let's try this again. So if I'm the Giants, I am considering taking Mendoza because I don't think Dart is a good enough passer. But knowing the Giants, they're probably gonna stick with Dart. Even though I think Mendoza would be perfect. Bro, what is going on? Now it's fucking frozen. It's not what I asked for. Okay. God, my dog will not stop whining. She has separation anxiety. I did not click on Tennessee. Holy fuck. Thank you. So I actually have the Giants trading down with the Rams. Rams got 2 first-round picks. They're going to need a quarterback when Stafford retires, which could be sooner rather than later. But Rams have 2 first-round picks. These picks can be very valuable. Maybe you get a second and a first next year as well. Now, you could say that's too much or too steep, but Rams trade up. They take Fernando Mendoza, who just won the Heisman. Congrats to him. But they get their quarterback of the future, which, funny enough, he gets compared to Jared Goff a lot, like a more athletic version of Jared Goff. So that's kind of funny there. But trade up, you get Mendoza, you sit him behind Stafford for a year or two. And then when Stafford retires, Mendoza takes over. And McVay's a really good quarterbacks coach. So I think this would make a lot of sense. Raiders at 2, obviously need a quarterback. They take Dante Moore from Oregon. There's a lot of idiots who think he's going to go back to school and take the NL money. Screw the NL money. You'll make way more money as a quarterback in the NFL. And if he goes back to school, there's a chance that he won't be a top pick in next year's class. So it makes sense for him to go pro this year and be a top pick because lots of teams need quarterback, and there's really only 2 quarterbacks that are worth taking in the first round. But Titans at 3, I think they should trade down, but there really is no quarterback for a team to trade up for. So at the Titans taking Arvell Reese, who some people think he's the best player in the draft. Stock kind of down lately, but he's still been productive. I think he can be a good linebacker. He can play off the edge. But we'll see where it goes there. Cleveland, I think they do need quarterback, but there's really none worth taking. All the best prospects are defensive prospects, and they need offense. I think defense is fine. But going to take they need another receiver, so they're going to take Jordan Tyson. I know at 4 is kind of rich. But I just don't see any other option. Ty Simpson at 7 is insane, but whatever. But yeah, they got Jordan Tyson. Could end up being their wide receiver 1, but yeah. The Jets, they could take Ruben Bain. Caleb Downs wouldn't surprise me. But let's see. Peter Woods at 5 is a bit rich, though. He hasn't been as good as I thought he was going to be. But Mekhi Lemon, really good receiver out of USC. Be a great fit next to Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell. But yeah. Cardinals at 6. I could see them taking another receiver, but I think you got to prove that offensive line. Spencer Fano, who hasn't been as good as he was last year, but I still think he can be a good quality offensive tackle at the NFL level. Jonah Williams just hasn't been good for Arizona. So that's who I have. That's who I have them taking there. Then the Saints at 7. Probably going to go defense. See. See. Thinking about Ruben Bain, Keldrick Falk, Peter Woods. I'm gonna have them go Ruben Bain from Miami. It's kind of his stocks kind of fell a little bit, but I just don't think he'll be a top 10 pick, and I think he'll be a good edge rusher at the NFL level. I literally clicked it twice and it didn't go through. Okay, Commanders at 8. I have them going edge rusher as well. Keldrick Falk from Auburn's been really good. All right, and then Bengals at 9. Take best defensive player available. I think Peter Woods could make some sense, but I think you got to go Caleb Downs, keep him in the state of Ohio. They just got to completely retool that defense because I think the North's going to be wide open next year because Steelers need to tear it down. Browns need new coaching staff. Ravens kind of need a retool as well. So the division is going to be wide open. So if the Bengals can have at least an average defense that can close out games and Burrow can stay healthy and that offense stays consistent, then they can win the division and go to the playoffs. All right, Giants back on the board at 10. They're going to take Carnell Tate from Ohio State, pair him next to Malik Neighbors. That'd be a great duo. And then there we go. Finally. Holy crap. Okay. I had Dolphins take Peter Woods. Play him next to Zach Zeeler on that defensive line. Chiefs at 12. I know most people are going to say Jeremiah Love, and I get that. But for me, offensive line is more important, and their right tackle is horrible. So I have them taking Maligoa out of Miami. I think he can stick at right tackle. Some people think he's going to be a guard, but they need to improve the offensive line, especially on the right side. I mean, you still have Trey Smith at right guard. Josh Simmons is good when he's healthy. But if you can get a right tackle of the future, then that'd be huge for them. Then at 13, Vikings get a steal here. They get Jeremiah Love because Aaron Jones is probably going to retire. So I think this is a home run pick for Minnesota. And then Dallas with their own pick. I'm actually going to have them take Mansour Delane because that secondary needs to be improved. I understand David Bailey's here, and, that would be a good pick as well. But they need to improve the secondary because their secondary hasn't been good. So that's who I'm going with. Baltimore, they could go secondary as well, but they need pass rush. Actually, defensive line. If I can find who it is. Yeah, here it is. Matabu came and never played football again due to a neck injury. Caden McDonald, very underrated prospect. I think be perfect on that defensive line for the Ravens. Then at 16, Carolina. This is where I have David Bailey going. Need more defense. I think he'd be a good pick for them. And then Detroit needs secondary. God, I hate these ads, dude. Detroit, I have them taking a chance on Jermod McCoy. He hasn't played at all this season, unfortunately, due to an injury. But last year, he was a really good corner. Detroit needs corners badly. Then the Jets. Jets are interesting. I'd say defensive line. Caleb Banks hasn't played much, but when he has, he's been really good. They also use secondary as well. But I went defensive line. And Tampa Bay needs defense. Offensive line is a consideration as well. Sony Style has been really good. Ohio State has a lot of good players in this draft. Like, there's probably going to be like 6 to 8 Ohio State prospects. That's how good Ohio State's been. Oh my God, this computer sucks. Okay, Pittsburgh at 20. This thing's frozen again. It's unfucking believable. Pittsburgh actually is another receiver. Could go corner as well, but Denzel Boston. How did I even end up that low? Okay. Where did he go? I did not click on edge. God, this fucking thing sucks. This fucking website fucking sucks. Like, seriously. Okay. Okay, ignore that. Yeah. Denzel Boston, criminally underrated receiver. He'd be a great fit next to DK Metcalf. All right, Eagles at 21. Could go Kenyon Sadiq here. Caden Proctor's an option as well. We're going to go Olavago Ione. Probably said that wrong, but definitely a Howie Roseman pick here. Really good interior lineman at Penn State. Which, if he's on the board, that's probably where the Texans pick. Not sure if Caleb Lamu is going to go pro or not, but Texans got to go O-line regardless. Okay, and then Dallas at 23. This is from Green Bay. They get a steal in TJ Parker. I still think he'll be good. I still think he'll be a first-round talent. Buffalo at 24. They need to get another receiver. KC Conception's been really good. Bears at 25. Got to go defense. I'm going to go Cassius Howell. Has short arms, but I think he'll be fine. All right, Chargers. For me, they got to go O-line. Yes, computer battery life sucks. I have Chargers taking Caden Proctor, and then they would be probably moving him inside to guard, which I think that'll be fine. right, Niners. I think they need edge, but there's not much here. I can go corner as well. I'm going to take CJ Allen. He's been pretty good recently. All right, then Cleveland. They took a receiver. Do need O-line. Go Jennings Dunker. He's not going to be a tackle. He's going to be a guard. And Patriots at 29. Take BPA. Best player available. To get a steal in Kenyon Sadiq. Hunter Henry's not going to be around for much longer. Same for Austin Hooper. Get Drake May, tight end one of the future. Drake May loves his tight ends. And Seattle at 30, they take Avion Terrell, perfect fit, especially with Tariq Woolen entering free agency, and they tried to trade him. All right, Giants at 31, they took a receiver. They need secondary. Colton Hood, Brandon Cisse. I'm going Brandon Cisse. His stock skyrocketed this year. Two more picks. Or no, all right, then Denver. All right, Denver. I haven't taken Chris Bell, really good receiver out of LSU, Louisville. And then that is the mock draft. Probably be the last one until the end of the regular season. Yeah, there's the trade we made beginning of the year or beginning of the draft. But yeah, pretty good, I would say. But yeah, that'll do it for the live. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.